Wow, this week we had some amazing Rosh Hashanah services. We had a full house. We had families who have been members for decades. Actually, a special shout out to our Temple Beth Torah members whose children have now officially joined Adat Shalom. It's an amazing demographic. We had new families coming to our shul for the first time, some people here from out of town, and some people looking for a new shul to call home. We had a lot of returning families whose lives and adventures had taken them elsewhere for a time, and they're now back, which is profound to see. New generations of longtime member families, grown-up kids with their +1 or their new spouse. So we saw some parents of members, children and grandchildren, and of course our religious school families. It was really quite profound to see all of us together. It's really a time of growth, of new beginnings, of building our future together as our Adat Shalom community. And there's a couple moments I want to especially highlight that continue to stick with me as I reflect upon the holiday. One was the wonderful talk given by our board president, Marla Knoll, in the support of our community, speaking about things that are so important, about the necessity of our community, especially in this crazy world, and the need for us to support what keeps going on and keeps us all together. We might not think about it all the time, but it's so essential. And then also, I want to speak about the personal story by Bobby Romanian. Wow, kol hakavod. And I want to talk a little bit today about the points that he brought up. But first, a little bit of backstory. We had our annual religious school reunion and open house about a month ago. This is an event at the end of the summer that brings back our returning families to reconnect after a summer away, and also provides new families and prospective families an opportunity to check us out. And in that session, there was a parent Q&A. I wasn't there for that session. I was with our students right then. But our board president, Marla Knoll, was there, and she told me Bobby had such amazing things to say about our community. So when we were looking for someone to tell their personal story on the high holidays, it was like, Bobby, you're hired. And so we asked him, he said yes. And I did have a chance to see his talk in writing before he presented it to the community, and I was already blown away. Now, before he presented to the community, I did hear one question, one curiosity from one of our community members who knew what Bobby was speaking but didn't know him that well yet about what he had to say. And this person asked, is he going to just talk about the religious school? And I was like, oh, just wait, this is going to be amazing. Because all of us who were there, I'm sure we remember, Bobby spoke about many things, including and not limited to our religious school. He spoke about his experience leaving Iran and coming to Los Angeles. He spoke about his mother and father-in-law and how they kept telling him and his wife to bring the kids to temple already. And he talked about how everything changed after October 7th, that his and his family's Zionism was no longer just an abstract idea, it was a concrete reality, that the anti-Semitism he experienced as a young child and that he was sure his children would just read about in history books was now the reality for them and the community around them, and that he and his wife and his children needed to be connected to something bigger than just their family, that they needed their own local connection to the global Jewish people, and that they chose Adat Shalom specifically for 3 very concrete and practical reasons. And so I, as our community spiritual leader, listening to this, thought, this is like an advertisement for Adat Shalom in the best possible way. So here are the 3 reasons. Reason number 1, our community loves children and integrates children into all aspects of Jewish life. Reason number 2, our community is proudly and unequivocally Zionist. And reason number 3, our community values education and leadership equally for sons and daughters, for men and women. So when you think about it, and you think about all that's going on in the Jewish world today, and in Los Angeles today, and you do a little compare and contrast between us and some of our neighbors, you see this combination of 3 things is really something unique and special that we are bringing to the table. And so today on this Shabbat Shuvah, I want to expand and expound upon Bobby's words. They're so important for our community to take to heart. And so we'll talk about his points in order. So first, our community loves children and integrates children into all aspects of Jewish communal life. We are an intergenerational community. We don't have a desire or a need to segment people off based on their age demographic, because really, as a community, we're like a big extended family. And families don't thrive when they split the generations apart. Families thrive when they bring the generations together. I heard recently that people who are older than us, no matter how old we happen to be, people older than us have been a number 1 source of life wisdom throughout time. So whenever we speak with people who are older than we are, we're opening ourselves up to an irreplaceable resource of learning and experience. Now, people younger than us are always a source of new ideas, of fresh perspectives, of optimism, of this feeling of limitlessness. People younger than us have fewer scars than we do, and this makes them their inspiration. And children, wow. So until our children reach the age of B'nai Mitzvah, they provide us with a chance to do an amazing mitzvah, V'shinantam levanecha, to teach the ways of our people to our children, and our children help us experience joy and wonder. So here's an example. Just recently in our religious school, this must have been last Sunday, we were talking about apples and honey for Rosh Hashanah. Okay, apples and honey for Rosh Hashanah, pretty basic. And the teacher asked the students, what does honey taste like? And one student said, sticky. And that was such a beautiful answer and so true and such a perfect and unexpected interpretation of the question. Children teach us imagination. Here at Adat Shalom, we know our families thrive, our community thrives when we bring the generations together. And now to Bobby's second point. Adat Shalom was proudly and unequivocally Zionist. About a month ago, we had some guests come visit us, and they approached me at Kiddush and they said, when we heard Hatikva at the end of your service, we felt welcomed, we felt at home, we felt secure, we knew where you stand, and we knew that we stand in the same place, that we stand together. Now, don't get me wrong, as I love to say, we are a diverse community. We don't have like a groupthink thing going on. We embrace and value our diversity, and we demonstrate that because we have different views over time, and we're still in a relationship with one another. We demonstrate that in our friendships. We demonstrate that every time we have a bagel at Kiddush with a friend who might vote differently than we do. Because this world is full of a diversity of people and viewpoints. And that doesn't contradict the reality that we can still find unity in our diversity. We passionately believe that the land of Israel is our homeland, and that our people have the right to create our own society, our own government in our own homeland, our land that has been ours for hundreds and thousands of years. Now, exactly how we should do that, we've got a variety of opinions there, but we as Jews have always had lots of opinions, usually more than one per person. That diversity is part of our unity, and that's what we believe and what we embody in our Adat Shalom community. And number 3, acharon chaviv, last but not least, our community values education and leadership equally for sons and daughters, for men and women. I think this one can be underappreciated, but really it's huge. Here in this community, we come from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of different generations. We have a variety of different relationships to this concept that women can count in a minyan, can serve on the synagogue board, can wear a talit, can be rabbis. Some of us come from communities where women were always included just like men. For us, our practice of egalitarianism solidifies what we have always known to be right and true. And some of us come from communities where only boys received a Jewish education, where only men were called to the Torah. Some of us left those communities or took a small step out of those communities to come here, to experience something different, to venture out of where we came from to embrace a new way of being. And some of us ended up here in this land of egalitarianism by accident and have gone through a period of being confused by how different it is and how different it can feel, but ultimately who have made the choice to live Jewishly in a new way. The most important thing here is we affirm men and women are both important. Men and women can, of course, be different, and men and women could, of course, both be leaders. It has been an amazing honor in my time already as Adat Shalom's rabbi to witness the rebirth of our men's club, 2.0, and to see how much meaning and value the men in our community receive from gathering together. Not to be exclusive or superior, just to be together. And it has been an equally amazing honor in these past 2 years to see our Women's League move from strength to strength, from one generation of leadership to the next, and see how our outgoing leaders have stepped back with honor and grace, and our incoming leaders have stepped into a post-pandemic, post-Zoom, post-everything world to take on the mantle of leadership in a meaningfully different form, to chart a completely new path forward without missing a beat. So to review, as Bobby taught us, as Bobby sees in our community, we love children, we're Zionist, and we embrace men and women, boys and girls, as having essential ownership of our tradition and leadership in our community. I couldn't have said it better myself, and I couldn't be prouder to be Adat Shalom's rabbi. It's my blessing for us, for all of us, and for all our families, that we be written and sealed in the book of life. May we be blessed with health and with happiness, with personal success and with financial success. May we be blessed with togetherness, that we may walk with one another into a good and sweet year ahead. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova.